Sorry guys, I'm late because I have some discussion with just now. So let's move to our assignment.
Guys, sorry.
Late again.
Alright guys, regarding for our assignment, have you guys have any plan to choose the policy for our assignment?
No. I have an idea. Why not we try to do national tourism policy?
Oh, it's quite nice actually.
Yeah, I do agree. But have you read regarding to that policy?
Not yet.
I think we need to choose a policy that we're familiar with. As a student before, why not we choose education policy?
Actually, I have something to show to you guys, which is I'm already searched about the policy education blueprint 2015 until 2025. So, what do you think?
Actually, I'm quite familiar with the policy, and since we are students, we can relate with the education policy, I guess.
Yeah, I think it's a good idea too. But have you guys agree with them?
Yes, I agree.
Do you agree?
I agree.
Alright. So now let's search about the blueprint policy on the internet.
To reimagine our education system to be world-class, so we could prepare Malaysia's children for the needs of the 21st century through many transformational initiatives by raising the quality of technical and vocational education.
So guys, it's time for us for delegate our tasks based on SOW. So I have do this lucky draw, something like lucky draw, to us choose what part that we have to do for the written assignment. Okay, let's choose.
The education system in Malaysia has developed significantly since 1957. The Malaysia Education Blueprint is an approach that was taken into consideration rising global standard for education. The government's desire to better prepare the Malaysia youth for the demands of the 21st century and elevated public and family expectation for educational policy. The National Education Policy was put into effect in 2013 and it will be effect from 2013 until 2025. In addition, the Malaysia Education Blueprint was the fourth policy implemented. Hence, the Malaysia Education Blueprint compares Malaysia's existing educational system performance to global benchmark.
Hi and Assalamualaikum. My name is ATIKAH binti JAILAN. I will continue the presentation and explain about what is actually the issue in education. There are three issues occur why government outcome with Malaysia Education National Blueprint 2013-2025. You can check the report of the policy started in page 7 and 8. Without further ado, I will explain the issues. Number one is issue about challenges remain in achieving equitable student outcome. In highlight of the issue is the gap of a school in rural area and urban area. As we inform, school in rural area usually at Sabah and Sarawak, while urban school at Kuala Lumpur. Urban area usually the office of education is always located. That is why school in rural area get less attention from a government. School in urban area have a complete building and a facilities for students discover and do experiment according their subject, such as science lab for students do experiment, computer lab to find advanced resources, etc. While students in rural area lack of facilities. Let's move on to the second point of issues, which is some schooling option with a more ethnic homogeneous environment. As we know, government provide a different type of schooling according to race, but parents are given the freedom to register their children to the those school. Even Chinese student can study in sekolah menengah kebangsaan. Same goes to another. So what actually the issue occur?
Education is inherently sensitive. It touches the hearts of the Malaysian populace and consciousness. Is easily racialized. It's easily linked to issues of religiosity. When we talk about this issue, and we have to be fair and honest, right? Where did the problem occur? What happened to our national schools? Why are there a lot of Chinese and Indians who will opt out from our national education curriculum and go for vernacular schools or private schools. Even middle-class Malay parents today are taking out their children from our national education curriculum and spend a lot more to go to private schools.
That video is footage explanation from expert, which is Muar MP Syed Saddiq. From that video, we know that the issue really happened in Malaysia. Finally, last point is return on investment is not as high as a desire. This issue occurs because of the inconsistency in spending that need to focus to more focus that can give impact to change the quality of Malaysian education. Although every year there is an increase in the allocation budget for education in Malaysia, it still cannot catch up with the other country provided higher prestige of education such as Singapore, South Korea and Shanghai. That's for me, and my friend will continue the presentation. That's for me, and my friend will continue the presentation.
Hi, my name is IZZATI AISHAH binti MOHMED HAZLEN, and I'm gonna explain the objective of the blueprint. First of all, the objective of the blueprint is understanding the current performance and challenges of the Malaysian education system, with the focus on improving access to education, raising standards quality, closing achievements gap equity, fostering unity among students, and maximizing system efficiencies. The Malaysian Education Development Plan 2013 until 2025 from 11 shift to change the system in terms of ensuring equal access to international quality education by setting international benchmark for languages, science and mathematics learning, and any other programs more. Next, the other objective of the establishing a clear visions and aspiration for individual students and the education system as a whole over the next over 13 years, several programs and actions have been planned that will empower JPNs, PPDs and schools to customize strategies based on need by accelerating school improvement through systematic districted programs that will be rolled out across all states by 2014 and allowing greater school based on administration and autonomy for schools that meet the minimum performance criteria. Last but not least, outlining a comprehensive transformation program for the system including key changes to the ministry which will allow it to meet new demands and rising expectations and ignite and support overall civil service transformation is also become one of the objectives of the blueprint. Correspondingly, in laying out of comprehensive transformation for the government system, the initiative has been taken to maximize students' outcome for every ringgit by tying every programs to distinct students' outcomes, annually rationalizing programs with low impact, capturing efficiencies opportunities and reallocating funding to the most crucial areas such as teachers training and upskilling. As a conclusion, based on the Malaysian Education Blueprint 2013-2025, it is seen to be able to solve various issues through the objective produced, and this method can indeed have impact on national education system in Malaysia. That's all from me. Thank you.
Hi, Assalamualaikum everyone. Do you want to know the changes that have been made in Malaysia Education Blueprint? So we start with the changes in terms of the previous name of the policy and current policy. For previous, the Ministry of Education has implemented an Education Development Master Plan 2006 until 2010. And for current, the name of the policy has been changed to Malaysia Education Blueprint. So basically, when there are changes in the policy, it must also have changes in terms of the goals and the priorities that they want to do. For instance, the changes that has been made by the Malaysia Education Blueprint is by focusing on the intended to encompass aspect of the approach, students' learning, teacher selection methods, teachers training, provision of rewards for teachers and school leaders, and ministry operational approach. Meanwhile, for previous policy has focused on 6 core, which is the building a nation, developing human capital, empowering schools, bridging the educational gap, glorify the teaching profession, increasing the excellent educational institution. Next, The changes in terms of the budget, the increasing budget allocation are given to the education sector. As we can see in 2012, the budget has been given as much as 36 billion and it continuing increase year by year. 2013, the government has allocated the budget as much as RM38.7 billion and currently in 2022, government has allocated the budget for education sector as much as 52.6 billion. 2023, the education sector has received the largest allocation, which is as much as 55.6 billion. This shows that the government has an awareness regarding to the vital of the education sector. Thus, they made changes in terms of the budget. Lastly, the changes that has been made in Malaysia Education Blueprint is in terms of students evaluation. Malaysia Education Blueprint has changed the penilaian menengah rendah, which is PMR, to pentaksiran tingkatan 3 PT3. After that, they made another changes, which is from pentaksiran tingkatan 3 to pentaksiran bilik darjah PBD and pentaksiran berasaskan sekolah, which is PBS. By having a changes in education system, it can identify the effectiveness of teaching and it also can guide the government to design and modify teaching methods and take appropriate follow-up action immediately. Thank you.
Assalamualaikum to SYAHIRAH. My name is NURALIAH binti AZNAM and I will continue the presentation with explanation of challenges that have been highlighted in Malaysia Education Blueprint 2013 to 2025. The first challenge is maintaining and improving quality in preschool. Preschool experiences have a significant impact on an individual's subsequent accomplishment. High quality education contributes to a child's social, physical, emotional, and intellectual development. It is a general knowledge for us to know that preschool fees are increasing year by year, especially non-government preschools. Because of that, not all parents can afford to send their kids to receive proper learning in preschools. Therefore, Malaysian government takes initiative by providing public preschools such as Tabika Kemas and Tabika Perpaduan. This is to ensure low-income families could afford to send their kids to receive proper learning according to their kids' age. Not only that, the Education Ministry also issues guidelines to assist public preschool in planning appropriate sports and co-curricular activities for students. These actions to ensure that the public preschools can provide appropriate teaching and learning sessions according to the age of the children. The second challenge faced by the Ministry of Education is insufficient senior teachers to coach new teachers. The Ministry of Education remains committed to its long-standing policy of strengthening the teaching profession in order to make it a vibrant, rewarding profession and esteemed profession in Malaysia. The Ministry intends to select teacher trainees for the Institute Pendidikan Guru, or also known as IPG, from the top 30% of any graduating class and may reduce the size of its intake if the applicant pool has fewer qualified candidates in a given year. This policy will also apply to other higher education institutions' intakes. This process is to ensure that all the teachers are qualified to teach as the teaching and learning sessions develop rapidly. This means that graduates will only be hired in the near future if they can demonstrate through practical placement and ongoing coursework that they have met the minimum competency expected of a new incoming teacher. That's all from me. Thank you.
The resolution for the previous problem in education that has been made by the government under Malaysia Education Blueprint 2013 until 2025 by conducting a program or strategy based on the following wave. There is 3 waves under this policy. Regarding to the first wave, It has focused on the changes of the system in terms of the student learning, the structure of the system, teachers and school leaders, and ministry transformation. Thus, the Ministry of Education has implemented many programs to achieve the goals. One of program is memartabatkan bahasa Malaysia, memperkukuhkan bahasa Inggeris, which is MBM, MBI. Next, there are other strategies in solving the problem by having wave 2, which is launching a secondary KSSM and primary KSSR curriculum that has been revamped to bring educational standard up par with global standards starting in 2017. In order to prevent a lack of space, the ministry will construct the new curriculum starting from the total number of hours in the school year and removing non-priority material and abilities. Furthermore, the curriculum will completely incorporate the skills and competencies regarded as critical for success in today's globalized environment, such as continuous importance of science hands-on instruction and ICT use. The last step in resolving the problems that have been highlighted in Wave 3 is by scaling up innovation and options to continuously raise Bahasa Malaysia and English language proficiency and providing more choice of additional language. The Ministry of Education is taking effective action to innovate Malaysia education. For instance, the Ministry of Education has introduced the Dual Language Program DLP, which is the implementation of the program as one of the initiative under the Dasar Memartabatkan Bahasa Malaysia, Memperkukuhkan Bahasa Inggeris, MBM, MBI. This program gives students the opportunity to explore various fields of knowledge to compete at the global level. The Malaysia Education Blueprint is a great document that aims to change the way that education is provided in Malaysia. The Malaysian Education Blueprint, which was introduced in 2013, represents the government's commitment to enhancing the education system throughout the time. To conclude, the blueprint offered suggestions on how the education system may develop. There is strong evidence of how successful implementation in several areas, such as increasing the student access.